never move out of this neighborhood. You will never do it because of what you're feeding, what you're putting out in the air. So that's what David did. David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? Bypass warning. God was warning David, hands off. David, you know better. Just like he do with you. You know that ain't right. You know you need to change channels. You know you shouldn't be looking at that. You shouldn't be looking at all that flesh. You know you can't take that. You know you should be handling your finances better than what you know. Well, you know. You know. But what do? We ignore it. So David was given a warning, and David did not take heed of the warning. He did what he wanted to do. Not what was right, but he did what he wanted to do. Why? Because he was walking in the selfish pleasure, the selfish desire, and the selfish choice that he made. Let me tell you one thing. When David got out of the bed, the plot was already made. The plot was already made. How do I know the plot was already made? Because he opened the door of the enemy for temptation. So he didn't even realize that while he slept, the enemy was working on his mind. Why? Because he was walking in the spirit of disobedience. So when he laid down that night, he was an enemy to God that very night because he did not lay down with the peace of God upon his life. So even while he was asleep, unbeknown to him, those desires and lusts of the flesh was already working on David, but he had passed the consciousness of that because he was walking in disobedience and he wasn't able to discern what was really going on in his life during the night. Same thing that happens to some of us. Some of us has almost lost the spirit of discernment. We're not walking in no discernment. We're walking in our own self. That's why we can do what we want to do and can go and come and have what we have because we're doing our own thing. And God said, go ahead and do it. And some of the things that we have, people will say, oh, you really blessed. No, you're not. The fall haven't come yet. Baby, let me tell you, the fall haven't come yet. You think you got it going on? You ain't seen the hand of God. So the fix was in with David. This plot was already, and it was made for David. David didn't make it. The devil did a business plan on David. David did a business plan. And he had a step-by-step motion for David. He started David off with the baby steps because he knew eventually he was going to tap it up to do the whole ordeal. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you what David really did, and I'm going to cut it off for the sake of time. What David really did, David's fleshly desire provoked him into possession. Let me say to you today, your selfish desires will cause you to walk in possession of a thing. Because it can be so strong, you have made up your mind that I will have it. Be very careful, because no man should have that kind of power over you. How dare another man seek to possess somebody else? We can't even possess our own members, let alone somebody else. But David was now walking in the position that he was going to possess Bathsheba. And you know what he did? Because of those feelings, he began to rape the mind of Bathsheba. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. He ravished her mind. We haven't got to the body yet. He ravished her mind. And sad to say, so many people's minds have been raped by somebody else's thoughts. And unfortunately, we get it mixed up because we call it love. We call possession love. When someone seeks to possess your mind and your thought and your will, that's not love, that's possession, and they are in violation to the will of God. You find someone say, oh, I'm just so in love, I don't know what to do, I can't do this. That ain't love, you've been possessed, baby. You are under the spirit of control. You are under the spirit of control, and love doesn't do that. Love brings passion, not control. Oh, glory to God. Love brings feelings, not fear. See, control causes a person to fear if they don't please that other person. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Oh, glory to God. I would that young people would learn the difference between love and possession. Love is kind. Love is gentle. Love is meek. Love doesn't come to possess. Love is gentle. So this is what David had done. Bathsheba became an object to David. This is some deep stuff, y'all. She became an object. And that's what happens in many of our lives. We simply become objects to somebody else. So what do? When it's time for dusting, they just take a cloth and dust you and then put you back on the shelf. Ooh, my. She was an object to him. She was an object that he looked at and he admired, and he said, because I'm king, I will have her. I deserve to have her. And when I get her, I'll do whatever I want to do to her because she is my object. But guess what happens? Time comes when it's time for a new object. And the old object doesn't have the same momentum that the last object had. So what do? They put that object in storage. Put that in storage because something new came out. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. I hope the young people hear this, because a lot of times the relationships and friendships that we get, we're nothing more than objects. And you wonder why. How is it that you were so in love with me last month and now you don't even like me? You were an object, baby. Something new came out. Something new came out. Don't need you no more. Don't want you no more. You're not the same that you were a month ago. We need to learn this. What he also did to Bathsheba, he violated her. That was a direct violation. When did the violation start, Sister Zara? When did the violation in this story start?
I would say the moment he saw her.
The moment he was peeping at her on the roof. He went to the king's house. He wasn't invited to the king's house. How dare he be peeping? Now I'm going to say this. Men, you have to be really, really careful because you guys have struggles.